What's up everybody, we're back with another video. Now, today's video's focus is not on this tank, but I thought let me try sitting in front of it and seeing how it looks as a tester for another place that I can do intros to and talk about whatever I like to talk about. So before we get into today's video, please go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, ding the notification bell, follow me on Instagram where you guys can get daily updates on what goes on here in the fish room and all the projects I'm up to. And also, go ahead and share my videos if you like them, because it really does help me out. Just shows that you guys are enjoying the video and the stuff I bring out. So, like I said, today's video isn't on this aquarium, but I have made a couple of, I made a few small changes, so let's quickly talk about that before we dive into the main event of today's video. So, in the last video, you guys would have seen that a lot of the Vala scenario was kind of bundled up in this section, so I managed to take out a big portion of it. I haven't managed to get in and get the rest out because when I was trying to, this guy was jumping and hitting me and I was worried that he was gonna like get hurt. So I'm gonna try doing it slowly when like I feed them all and they're all on like the far end of the corner because I feed from that side. Then I'll try and like get a net and scoop everything out. But I also went ahead and added this in just because I was thinking that maybe some of the smaller African cichlids would need somewhere to hide just from the bigger ones. It would just give them that respite, as well as it'll break line of sight so that they're not getting chased around and getting harassed too much. So I just went ahead and added that in. Like I said, I do want to do some more decorations at the back, but at the moment I'm having an issue with my local fish store because they're going through a massive rehaul, and I like to support my local fish store, so I'm just going to wait for them to get back on it. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the aquarium that I want to talk about today. So as ever, we're talking about one of my favorite aquariums, the big 7-foot aquarium. This houses my large silver arowana, my giant gourami, Oscars, a variety of tinfoil barbs, and we got some nice catfish in here. We got 2 giraffe-nosed catfish, and we have a ripsaw catfish that hides in the background, as well as an Odo pike who is over there somewhere. So I mentioned this in the last video, but obviously it's been a few weeks since Marshal, the Pacu, was removed from this aquarium, and I just want to do a proper update on what's happened. So, like I said, most of the fish are doing really well. The aggression has gone down, and everyone seems to be doing pretty well, except for one guy, and that one guy is the flagtail. I'm not too sure who has been bullying the flagtail, because I'll be honest with you, I've been gone for a couple of days. I went to Bath for a few days, and then I was chilling out with some friends, so I haven't been around for a few days properly to actually like monitor my fish, which I know is not great to be a fish keeper and to do that. But like you just saw, the Midas itself, you know, it has bursts of aggression, but it's not going after any particular fish. The Gourami, I haven't seen him doing anything particularly aggressive. The Oscar, again, these are the more aggressive fish in this aquarium, and everyone seems to be doing alright. Even the tinfoil barbs have healed up after the flagtail got added in, because for the first few days, the flagtail was chasing them about and giving them a bit of grief. But now they've all seemed to kind of like fall into place, and everybody seems to be doing alright. So that is just great news that the aggression has died down, and now I'm comfortable to watch this tank. And it also doesn't look so overstocked. It actually, for the first few days, it looked so empty when I came in here. I kept on thinking, wow, Marshal was a big, big fish. Like, the giant gourami's big, but he doesn't swim actively. It's hard to describe. You know, he's not like the tinfoil barbs that are constantly swimming up and down, up and down. He's kind of just like floating there, drifting about, will move if he needs to, you know, but he's a very slow moving fish in comparison. Marshal, on the other hand, was quite quick moving, and he seemed to take up a lot of space, so the tank is also emptied out a bit. Marshal's quite an aggressive eater, a heavy eater, messy eater, and you know, he creates a lot of waste, so the waste in this tank has also gone down significantly. So the water clarity I've never had an issue with, but the water quality has significantly improved. And probably what does help is the fact that there is a massive amount of pothos just up there absorbing all those nitrates. But I'm really happy with the way this tank is at the moment. I don't think I'll be adding anything in anytime soon, because I don't really want any sort of aggression changes or any sort of disruption to the way that this tank works. There is obviously going to be aggression. I do have an aggressive species of cichlid or Midas in this aquarium. I have a giant Gourami, and especially the albinos are known for being aggressive. I have an Oscar, which, in the hindsight of things, aren't aggressive comparatively, but for the average fish keeper, they are a pretty aggressive fish. And even the giraffe-nosed catfish, you know, they give each other a hard time. It's limited to only those two giving each other a hard time. But there are sorts of spurts of aggression here and there, but it's just not constant, in-your-face, hard-hitting aggression. It's more natural, where a fish is going to kind of like nip at you and just be like, you know, get out of my way or something of that sort, as opposed to, I don't like you, I'm going to bully you. So, you know, the fish are doing really well. They look really good. And there's not really much else to say, because this aquarium has become so peaceful, is the right word. So it's kind of like there's nothing really going on in this aquarium other than the fish are just existing. Most of these fish have kind of gotten to this size where now the growth rate is going to slow down significantly. I think the only guy who's still growing pretty fast is the Midas. But even then, you know, if you take a look at the giraffe-nosed catfish, the smaller one has definitely still got some size to put on. And even the ripsaw catfish, he's definitely put on some size. But again, like all of these fish, they're kind of at that maxed out at the growth rate, so now they're going to start to slow down, and they're going to stay at this size for a while. Even the silver arowana, he's not yet hit 2 feet. I would say he's about between 18 and 20 inches. I really don't know. It's hard to measure him. He doesn't like the tape measure. But he is a fairly large fish at this time. So because he's kind of come to that nearly 2 foot mark, he is going to slow down. It's going to slow down in growth rate, and it's going to kind of just, it's going to take a while for them to get any bigger than where they are. And if that's the case, then I don't mind keeping this aquarium dynamic for a lot longer than I was thinking. Obviously, if any fish grows too big, then I'm going to have to start thinking about getting a bigger aquarium. But for the time being, I'm quite happy with how everything has worked out. You know, the biggest issue for me was because Marshal was growing so fast. He was such a big fish at, you know, size-wise in terms of length, height, girth. And he was a very active fish. He needed a lot more swimming room. So I was thinking about getting him a bigger aquarium. But a lot of these fish, other than the tinfoil barbs, really aren't really dynamic swimmers. Even the the silver arowana, he's quite an avid swimmer. But, you know, he can make the most off the space that he has. He's doing pretty well in here. Obviously, I would like to give them a bigger aquarium, don't get me wrong. But now I'm thinking, you know, I can save up, I can take some time. I might do an even bigger aquarium than I was originally thinking, but I have enough time to then actually save up, plan it properly, so it's not a rush job, so it looks good. So that when they do move in, they'll have a nice, big swimming space. But that's really it for these guys. You know, they're doing well. I mean, my only concern is the flagtail. I do want to see him. I haven't actually seen him get picked on, but, you know, he also does look a bit worse for wear. And I do think it was just that pre-piece jitters that they had to work out, really. I mean, there's nothing really else to say about it. Everything seems really peaceful at the moment, and I think it was just he got caught at a bad time where things were reshuffling around, power dynamics were changing. He was being aggressive when he shouldn't have been, and so I think things have definitely calmed down. Yeah, as you can see, the Baisha isn't in here. The Baisha jumped out. I put him back in. He died 3 days later. I was really gutted with that. But, you know, I tried keeping Baishas again. I even went out of my way to put, like, perspex sheets in place so that they wouldn't jump out, but he managed it anyways. And, you know, it sucks because he was an awesome looking fish. But, you know, things work out in certain ways, and, you know, I'm really happy with the way this aquarium worked out now. So I can't complain. I want to quickly just take a look at these guys as well, because these guys are looking absolutely fab after the water change. And I'm really excited for this aquarium as well, because I think I'm happy with how stocked this aquarium is now. You know, you got your 2 turtles, we got the pleco in the back, and we got all these guys, but it's not overcrowded anymore. Before it was way too overcrowded for what was in here, and I knew it, and I really wanted to move things around. Obviously I was waiting on building that tank, but now everything seems to have died down, and these are the right kind of fish to be in with an Asian arowana. They're very peaceful, but they also grow quite big. Some of them, like the tiger barbs, you know, they look absolutely fantastic. The silver dollar Serenat barbs. And they're just going to help accent how nice this fish looks. So I'm really excited to see these guys grow, especially the arowana. I want to see him get, you know, between a foot to a foot and a half before we need to think about moving him or her. But yeah, look, everything looks great at the moment. That's the main thing. And I still need to move these 2 aquariums, but that's a video for another day. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this update. I mean, not really much has happened recently, so it was just kind of doing an update on the behavioral changes, because I moved around a lot of fish, so obviously the dynamics will have changed, but everything seems to be working out for the best, touch wood. So hopefully moving forward things will be getting better, and we can focus on some new projects. I need to just think of what I want to do next, because I kind of came to the end of this project and I sat down like, wow, I've got nothing to think about now. So I will think of some other things I want to do, and we will go ahead and talk about them. I'll do an update on the pond in the next video, so I hope you guys look forward to that. I hope you guys are staying safe, and as always, peace out.